Hey guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review, and I'm back doing some beer awards. And this one's a bit, I can't quite work this one out. See if you follow me or whatever. I know you follow me, of course you do. If you don't, click like, subscribe, and follow me. That helps. Basqueland Brewing, but they've won the Technical Brewing Award. And this is a very short article, so I actually read it for a change. Their technical brewing from the article is that they brew a lager and a low alcohol beer. And by low, I mean half a percent. Because they can brew such amazing beers as a lager and a low alcohol beer, it makes them unbelievably technically amazing. And weirdly, in that article, it did not mention this beer. And the beer, I think, looks pretty good. So let's have a look. It is this one, Troubadour. And it's a hazy IPA. Looks familiar, actually. I'm not sure if I've tried this one before. And definitely looks familiar. It's like a sort of sumo wrestler, but wearing Scottish kind of clothes. And, well, with a leather jacket. But, yeah, I don't quite get it. Obviously, it's from Basqueland. It is, where are we? Ah, we're around this side today. 5.5%. We do have dry hop with Citra, Mosaic, and Galaxy. Some of the proper new wave kind of thing. What have we got in here? Have we got oats? Yes, oat and wheat and Pilsner malt again. What is it with Pilsner malt? Very strange. But one of the unique things here, as I'm into my 4th week now with this cough, it's getting absolutely ridiculous. They've used a certain type of yeast, Pomona yeast, which give tropical fruits, and they've got Mosaic in there, so I think that's going to work very well. This has been in the fridge for quite a while. Oh, there we go. It's a reasonably old one. It's probably a couple of months old, this beer. Getting through them. I've still got that amazingly special beer from Andy, and I've also got the one he gave me free on the same day. So, and that beer is, I think that's, I'll have to double check, but I think that might be 2 years out of date. So last time I had one that was a year out of date. This one's 2 years out of date, I think. He gives me all the best kind of beers, but I said to him, look, whether it's a beer, that's got a lot of weird things about it, or whether it's a totally free beer, he knows I'm going to review it and drink it. So, shame on. Right. Troubadour ding dong. Troubadour. Oops. Keep moving that out a bit. That's weird. Oh, so I'm getting a bit of a waft of kind of greenery, which must be the Citra. Bit of juiciness as well. Yeah, sort of grassy, hedgerowy, and berry. So maybe there's berries on the hedgerow. And there's sort of mango-y, papaya-y, kind of that type of fruit going on in there too. Not so much of the tropicalness. Well, not on the nose anyway. Hopefully things will change in the mouth. And of course, it's quite a dark yellow, a deep yellow, ball deep. Did I tell you about my Indian friend Ball Deep? A brother or a sister called Mangina. Yeah, and their neighbour was a lesbian. Her name was Minjita. Very weird. These are for my comedy special for Netflix. Racistjokes.com. Well, that's not strictly true. I used to work in Heathrow, weirdly enough, the airport, and that side of London, West London, there's lots of kind of well, there's lots of racial stuff going on, but there's lots of sort of Indian versus Pakistani versus Eastern European now, which is kind of crazy. So there's lots of weird, crazy jokes, and they are jokes. Please don't cancel me. But yeah, I thought that a name play. It's not racist anyway. There's nothing racist about playing with people's names. Anyway, that's the way I look at it. Interesting. Anyway, let's get cracking with this one. Oh, I'm kind of regretting putting this one in the fridge now. It was a bit taut, so I was thinking I needed to cool it down a little bit, but there's going to be lots of lovely flavors going on here, and they're slightly muted when the beer is really cold, which is a shame. Which is why traditionally I like beers that are at cellar temperature, and by that I mean around about 10 degrees, maybe slightly warmer, but aim for 10 degrees, that's fine. These beers are 5 degrees because I set my fridge a little bit higher than normal. But my milk and my eggs and my cheese seems to last a long time. But my beer's a little bit too cold. Fine if you're drinking lager, not a problem at all. But for a hazy pale that's not going to explode, and that's the thing, because I thought this one might do, and which is why I put it in the fridge in the first place. But it detracts from the flavour, which is weird, don't you think? Right, let's dive in, see what we get from the second runnings. Hey, cool runnings, man. Oh, wow, this is weird. So this yeast is kind of giving me a juiciness which can only be coming from the mosaic. I think might be the galaxy too. But in addition to the berries, I'm also getting quite a nice amount of juiciness, and it's like a soury kind of bitter chewiness, juiciness. Mm, really amazing. Like, obviously, I'm gearing up soon to do some more training. So train the trainer, so I can train people to taste beers and stuff like that. Pardon me. And I've been doing this reviewing lark for a while. And I've been part of the tasting panel for well over a year, nearer two. And I've been beer judging for over a year now, like officially. It's wow. I mean, I'm always amazed how you change one of basically four ingredients. I know there's different types of malts, there's different types of hops, etc. But in this case, yeast. You bung a different yeast in, and it changes everything up. So you have quite common hops, like Citra's really common, Mosaic really common, Galaxy not as much, but it's one of the hops that you know. It's not a totally unheard of hop. But by adding a slightly different yeast style, the interactions, the thiols, if you like, or the alpha acids at a real base level and beta acids and stuff, um, somehow bind differently. It's weird. I started noticing this probably 10 years ago with the onset of Kveik, the Kveik yeast, the different strains. I've still got some that my dear departed friend Jim gave to me the last time I actually saw him. He gave me 2 different strains of yeast that he'd grown up and he'd basically cultivated and then dried, which is interesting because they're they're very cheesy. But yeah, I'm going to try and grow them up once I get back into doing that type of thing. But I'm going to have them in the liquid form, which is where yeast are happiest. They don't really, I mean, yeast are flying about in the air the whole time anyway. But I think when they're sitting under uh, liquid, especially, well, beer's nice, but water is fine. Washing yeast, if you've ever tried that, it's cool. I tried growing yeast from Belgium styles, from leftover beers. It's a lot harder than you think it is, but it does work. Let's get this finished, and you guys can get on your way. This has been a strange review. I've been talking about all sorts of nonsense, which I usually do, dear viewer. So if you're not a subscriber, please think about subscribing because you do get weird stuff on this channel that you wouldn't get in other places. That is kind of Kveik-ish, if that's a word. Some nice lacing on the glass, some nice sort of line. Well, those two are lined. That top one's kind of a bit of a meander around the glass. We've got some sort of, look at that thing with a big big nose like a duck-billed platypus with his snout sticking out the side. All sorts of weird stuff. Oh, and there's a little mini raptor thing down there. You know how we roll, dear viewer. That is nice, but a bit weird. Basqueland, they are quite a weird brewery. I do like them. I have to say, I like their darker beers better, but that is a very odd, strange version of a hazy pale. Let me down. Let me down. Let me know down in the comments what you think if you tried this beer. And don't panic, because I'll be back doing it all again with another beer review coming up real soon.